Weird. Didn't want to connect to the internet. Says we're live. Okay. Everybody hopefully can see me. Impromptu live. Okay, good. You guys can see me. Good, 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 good. Okay, first things first, let me get you guys some links here. Because we did find these were still in stock. Okay. Okay, so hello everybody. Hi Kathleen. Hi Leanne. Hi Frida. All right, so first things first, I do apologize for my follow-up video. I don't know why it went up muted, but it is live now. So if you want a chance to win the Stamp Wars set, go back and watch that after this and comment on the video, and you will be entered in the drawing to win that. The 15% off code ends tomorrow for Gina K Designs. Now, these foils are sold out at Gina K Designs. So if you are interested in purchasing them, I do believe they are still in stock at Scrapbook, and the code SPOOKY gets you 10% off. I don't know when that code ends though. So I just linked those, and I think they're still in stock at Scrapbook. How is everybody doing? I have been painting my house, so I still might have a little bit of paint on my hands. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys these foils. I'm leaving again for business this week, so I wanted to get this done live. That way I can answer any questions you have, and then I'll post links in the description as we go for the other products like Polyglaze, Fuse Machine, all of that. But I wanted to get these links up for you guys as soon as possible. Let me get back to live chat. Chat filter, all messages. Okay, here we go. So first things first, there are two different types of foils, okay? We are going to be talking about both of the foils tonight, okay? So there is toner foils. These are toner foils, okay? So toner foils are normal foils that have to stick to something. They have to stick to tape, glue, laser printed designs, which are also known as toner printed designs, or polyglaze. Okay, so Gina K uses polyglaze, which means that it's printed in a special way for it to print, okay, for it to stick, I should say. Then there's what's called hot foils. Hot foils are also known as an overlay foil, okay? Hot foils don't need anything for it to stick, okay? And that's what Gina K has here, which is an overlay foil. This foil is usually activated by heat, okay? So it doesn't need anything for it to stick to. It gets really excited when it's got heat, and it's going to stick to anything. It doesn't need a reason. It just needs heat, okay? So this already has a heat activated added to it, and it's just going to stick. Okay, so that's what she has here. So this is going to stick to whatever you put it to. So it's not just going to stick to the leaves, it's going to stick to everything. So that's a difference here. So this is a heat activated foil. So they're calling it an overlay, but it's a heat activated hot foil. Okay, so we're going to show you the difference in the two today. I have a couple of examples of Polyglaze here, but you can look at Polyglaze and think of it as a toner foil or a toner printed foil or tape or glue or anything like that. But we're going to be using Gina K Polyglaze today. All right, so if you have questions, stop me. I have my phone. I'm going to read the comments. I don't know if I didn't tell any of my admins that I was jumping on today, but we're going to talk about it. I'm also going to be using some white Polyglaze sheets, very similar to toner sheets. So you've seen black toner sheets, you've seen color toner sheets. Think of white Polyglaze sheets as similar to that, okay? All right. So first of all, I want to talk about how beautiful these are. Okay, these are brand new to the marketplace. I've not seen something like this. This is called Hammered Gold and Hammered Silver. They sold out on Gina K's website. They have sold out on the ThermoWeb website. So they are still at scrapbook.com right now. So if you want to get them, I have put the link here for you. I think the code spooky still works and gets you 10% off. But they literally look like they're raised. They look like, oh my gosh, they're hammered. They almost look like water droplets, but they literally have no texture to them. They look like they're textured. They look like they're hammered. They're not. So I used the gold one yesterday here on Stamp Wars, and you look like you can touch it and feel it, and it's not. It's completely flat. Come on, camera, focus. But it is completely flat, but it really looks cool. And it's not like a holographic feel to it. And you're going to ask me, well, how do I tell on the silver which side is up and which side is down? One side is more shiny than the other. So the shiny side is up and the matte side is down. But it is really, really cool. I have not seen this. And you guys know, Foiling Empress here, I own all the foils. But it is completely flat, both sides. It just really cool how they got that. Looks like they ran it through like an embossing folder. Okay, so we're going to start with this silver one. And we're going to start with some snowflakes. And I just wanted to show you here. So here I ran, this is called Blanket of Snow, this one. I have two different snowflakes here. Let me pull the other one out. Reading comments here. Hello, Cheryl. Hello, Star. Oh, Star is here. Let me make Star a moderator. So Polyglaze is just Gina K's special printing method. I like Polyglaze because you can get super fine lines with Polyglaze versus standard toner printing. Toner printing is using a laser printer. Polyglaze uses literally a glaze. You still do it any other way, but you can see that it's kind of a gray print. So you don't get that black speckled. You see this one's a little lighter. This one's a little darker gray. It doesn't matter. It works just as fine. This one I already foiled with her blue. You can see it's that sparkle blue foil, very pretty. And we're going to do it the same way. You're going to dusty the back of the foil, dusty our image. And one of these was the blanket of snow, and the other one is winter snow. If you are shopping Gina K's website, I will put my link down below. It's 15% off with the code Stamp Wars 15. It ends tomorrow. Please use my link. Might not have enough to do 2 panels here. We'll see here. And I have my carrier folder over here. And you always want to put folded side in, and you want to put it long ways in. In other words, we don't want to put it in this way. We want to put it long ways in, folded side in. And I have my fuse. Yes, you can use your Mink machine. Fuse or Mink, and I have mine on setting 3. Folded side in. You want to put that in the middle, and you want to hold that in. Sometimes it works better on 4, just depending on where you are. Hi, Donna. Let's see if we can get to, oh, it's just going to be slightly short. So I'm going to grab this other piece and we'll use that. Dusty the backside. And that's okay. We can save those other pieces for sentiments. Or I'm going to show you something else we can do with them with the Polyglaze. And this is why we want extra carrier sheets. And we want to make sure that whole thing is covered. We don't want any pieces of Polyglaze hanging out. When that's done, we let that cool down before we reveal it. Hello, British Columbia. And again, the code that we got from Stamp Wars is Stamp Wars 15. I'm going to give you guys some links here. And I think the code at Scrapbook is Spooky10, which gets you 10% off. But the code for Gina K is only because of Stamp Wars. Let me get you guys that. There we go. And please click yes on cookies. Oh, it's okay. Star, thank you. You can pull a lot of the codes off of yesterday's or this morning's video, Star. All right, so we're going to let these cool down. And let's see how they look. That is so cool. And then I'm going to show you how to use this leftover foil in just a second. look at how stunning that looks. And that one is called Blanket of Snow. And this one is Winter Snow, which has a lot more snowflakes. But this is really what I want you to show you, the difference with Polyglaze and regular toner sheets. You see these tiny, tiny snowflakes. See how fine the little print is on there? Normal toner sheets really can't handle these little bitty tiny lines, okay? That's where we really get a lot of mist foiling, okay? They just can't. And you get a lot of missed spots. Well, the Polyglaze really does well with those tiny little scripty lines, really tiny. I mean, these tiny little prints, those tiny little circles, normal toner can't handle it. It really can't. So if you struggle at home trying to make your own designs, you just can't get to it. It won't take it. But Gina K and her Polyglaze loves them. It just takes that foil and soaks it, right? It just, look at it, it's just gorgeous. And you don't have any missed spots. It just really does well with it. And then we have these leftover foil pieces. And this is where her regular Polyglaze, white Polyglaze sheets come in. So now we have two beautiful foil pieces. And we use the brand new hammered, oh, so gorgeous, hammered pieces. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do with those now. So we're going to take a piece of white. Let me move this stuff out of the way here. We're going to take white Polyglaze sheets. Okay, so she has these white Polyglaze sheets. So I have a note here, mark an X on the back. And that's because if you don't mark an X on the back, it's a little difficult to tell. There's a little bit of a sheen on here. And if you don't mark an X on the back, you can accidentally foil your carrier sheet. And if you accidentally foil your carrier sheet, it's not fun. It can accidentally get messed up. And I have an example of one here. It does this, okay? And we don't want that to happen. So you want to mark an X on the back. As soon as you open your package, put an X on the back, okay? So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our foil. And again, remember I told you one side is shiny and one side is dull. So we are going to dusty this again. And we want to put the foil on the shiny side. Now you don't want to have any excess Polyglaze hanging out. So you see I'll have this excess hanging out here. I'm going to make, it's okay to have excess foil hanging out. I don't want any of this excess Polyglaze hanging out. So I'm just going to trim that off of there. Hello, Diane. So foil is okay to have hanging out. We don't want any excess Polyglaze. So all of this, I want to make sure all my snowflakes are covered. Okay, but this on the edge here, I'm just going to trim that. The other thing you can do if you don't feel comfortable using your carrier sheets is ThermoWeb sells these let me find them. They're almost like wax paper transfer sheets. I don't have them in front of me right now. But they are craft sheets. They're wax paper craft sheets. And they work really well as well. And they resist. Oh, here they are. They're called craft and carrier sheets, okay? And they are non-stick sheets. So if you are worried about your toner sheets, the black toner sheets, or these you can put these on the inside here. So remember, we always stick to the shiny side, not to the dull side. Okay, so we want the dull side of the foil to stick to that. And we want to smooth this out. And we don't want any of that polyglaze exposed. And wait till you guys see how beautiful this is. Okay, and again, folded side. And these are really big. I cut this one in half. The folded side is going to go inside. And again, I have mine at setting 3. Yes, we can foil that twice because the white polyglaze will be exposed. Kelly has a good question there. I will show you that in a second. All right, so then we have this other one, and I can do that over another piece of toner sheet. So we have black toner panels. Let me find those for you guys. So we have these black toner panels. So I'm going to do that over those. As long as toner is exposed, you can double foil it. So that just covers it. I'm going to put that one in again, folded side in. Okay, so this is the white polyglaze. Again, we have the X on the back. And whenever you do a full foil, you want to pull this off quickly. So now this is completely clean. This goes in the trash. We can no longer use this. This goes in the trash. So now the question is, can we foil this again? So the answer is yes. Would you want to cover the white up? That's personal preference. You want to cover the white up? Yeah, you can now go in and foil this any color you want. This is now exposed. You can cover that up again. We're going to give this one just a second to cool down. That's still warm. Okay, same thing because we did a full. We're going to pull this quickly. Okay, and now this piece of foil has been used twice. So we're going to throw that away. Okay, so we've used a black toner sheet. We used a white polyglaze sheet. These can now be double foiled. So we can now have exposed toner, and we can color this with another piece of foil. We can also color this with another piece of foil. All right. Now I want to leave this one white. However, I'm going to use the overlay foil on this. Okay. The overlay foil is a clear hot foil. What that means is as soon as this touches anything, it's going to stick to the whole thing. Okay, so I recommend using this foil with the craft and carrier sheets. And the reason I recommend using this with the craft and carrier sheets is because it's going to stick to anything it touches. So let me show you what I mean. Do you see this carrier sheet? Do you see all of the, you see all of this? This is what happens when a hot foil touches your carrier sheet, okay? So I do recommend having on hand either a dedicated carrier sheet. because this is what's going to happen, or getting yourself some of these crafting carrier sheets, because they are, again, non-stick. There's 6 pieces in here. They're very large. They're 11 by 17. You cut it in half, and this is not just going to stick to the square or the exposed areas. It's going to stick to the whole thing. So let me show you what I mean by that. So that's why they don't just call it a regular foil. They call it an overlay foil. Okay, now here's another trick. Because this foil is see-through, you can't really see a matte side. Okay, everyone says, well, how do you know which side sticks and which side doesn't? One of the tricks I've always given with these kinds of foils is when you take it out of the package, lay it down, and with a permanent marker, write the letter B on it. Okay, because once it's backwards, and I write it on the corners, you will know when it is backwards, because once you flip it upside down, it's going to be backwards. So I write the letter B on it. I probably should have used a little darker marker, but you'll know when it's backwards because the B will be backwards. Okay, so you'll know when it's backwards. So I write a letter B on it, because as you cut this, you're going to cut different pieces off. So I write the letter B on it. I will know when it's backwards. You don't have to worry about that B transferring onto your product, because again, it's on a clear overlay, right? So I'm going to cut this to fit. Now this all has a B on it. I'm saving this because there's a B in every corner. See that? And again, you really don't want to have too much excess, because that excess is going to stick to your carrier sheet. So you really kind of want it to fit perfectly. Otherwise, it's going to stick to whatever you're using, your carrier sheet. So you want it to fit kind of perfectly. So this is extra. We'll use that in another project. And I'm going to put this in here. Yeah, it pretty much is parchment paper. Yep. Hi, Anne. And yes, you can use it in your Glimmer hot foil machines, because that's pretty much what it is a hot foil. But it's a clear foil, so it's just going to show up as clear. And I will foil this with another color foil. Let's see. Let's do blue. Do we want blue snowflakes? Of course I have blue. I have it all. It's like a cornflower blue. I'm sorry, I don't know all of the official names because I did not list them, categorize them. Terrible. I didn't want to take away from the hammered silver, so we are going to just use this matte satin blue over the snowflakes. And we did our dusty, so we're going to feed that through. Okay, let's see what this looks like. All right, and remember, we're going to pull that off pretty quickly. And it's kind of hard to see. Did I not do it correctly? I don't think I did it right. Did the foiling empress not put that on there correctly? I don't think I did it right. Was my B backwards? Perfectly. That's very possible. We're going to try that again. It is, I don't think I did that right. Let's try that again. It didn't stick to anything. It didn't stick my parchment paper. It didn't stick to this. We're going to have a go and do it again. I don't see it's not going to anything. Maybe I got to raise my heat up. Going to try round 2 here. Nope. Trying that again. Try that again. I know this will work. I can see the snowflakes already. Ta-da! That's standard double foiling. Pretty. I love that hammered foil. So nice. So shiny. And then we can use this again on Polyglaze. My cord is in the way. Move, cord. We'll save that for another project. We have this other piece that I'm going to show you on here. So this is a piece I've already foiled. I'm going to dusty this. Maybe I did it backwards because this is laying downwards. Yeah, I'm going to try to run this through this way. Maybe that's what I did wrong. I'll put it down backwards. That's what it was. I had it backwards. I had my B backwards because that time it stuck when I flipped it over. Ta-da! You can see it's perfectly clear this time. I had my B backwards. There it is. Can you see all the glitter? The glitter has stuck to everything from edge to edge. It is off of here. See? Gone. Clear. It is only on the edges. I'll show you again. But you can see it is all across here. Not just on the snowflakes, on everything. Hello, BC. But my point is, it sticks to everything, not just the snowflakes. See on here? It just stuck to, the blue only stuck to the snowflakes. That's what regular foil will do. This overlay foil stuck to everything. See the glitter? Everything. I'm going to show you again on this one. Now that I know my B was backwards. B for backwards. I'm going to show you here. It's going to stick to everything. Let me rub that off. I'm not worried about it. We'll put embellishments on there. Actually, I have rubbing alcohol right here, which will take it off. Hold, please. I don't want to waste that. It's too pretty to mess it up. I put my B on backwards, which was actually the right way, and I was the wrong way. Okay. Okay. But what's nice is, you know how finicky foil is about, I always tell you guys, paper, 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 that foil will only stick to smooth paper. The overlay will stick to any kind of paper. It does not have to be smooth paper. It will stick to any paper, but it will stick to the whole thing. So that's what you have to remember is it will not just stick to the images you want. That's what you have to remember. That's the rule that it's going to break, is a lot of you are going to say, well, I only want it to stick to certain parts. Oh, no, no, no. It's going to stick to everything. It is an overlay. So keep that in mind. It's not just, that's why it's clear, because it's going to stick to everything. Okay, so remember, it's going to stick to everything. So here we go. Did I do it backwards again? Nope. I did do it backwards. Oh, I don't think I did it hot enough. Let me turn that up to 4. That's the other thing too. It likes it to be hot. Hold on, let's do that again. I also wanted to show you guys the hammered on these leaves. I brought that up yesterday and I wanted to die cut them. So hold on. Here is the skeleton leaves and they have the dies. We're going to do those in the gold. You can use any cardstock you want on the overlay, yes. Will this fit? Ooh, I think it will. Remember, overlay foil has an adhesive built into it. Now, it still prefers glossier foil or glossier cardstock. It's going to stick better to glossier cardstock. I'm just trying to maneuver this foil so I can get the most out of it. But it will stick to anything. That's how hot foil works. Let's see how this did now. And always let it cool. Okay, so there we go. Needed to be a little hotter. Now it's not completely because this was already smooth because of the foil, so it took it right away. This is not as much of the transfer. So if I run this through again, it will transfer more. You can see it started to, but it's not as much. So I'm going to run it through again. And I'm actually going to put a shim under this. So hold on a second. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at that. That's the hammered gold on those skeleton leaves. So pretty. Okay, so these are not, the Polyglaze printouts are not super smooth, shiny paper. So this Polyglaze, I'm sorry, this overlay is not wanting to transfer right away to it. So we're going to run this through again, but I'm going to put a little shim of cardstock underneath this. And I'm going to run it through again. And I have it on setting 4 just to help it along a little bit. And while that's doing that, I'm going to put my dies. Hold on to that. So the smoother your paper is that you're putting your overlay on, the better the transfer is going to be. Again, foil does like smoother better. It doesn't mean it's not going to work. It just means the smoother it is, the better it's going to be. So overlays like smoother better. Foil is just finicky like that. And I'm going to cut some of these out. Just because I have my little intricate next to me. Why do I have my jumbo scissors next to me? I don't know. Okay, let's see if that helped using a little shim to push that down. And I just use regular cardstock as my shim. Yeah, and the shim helped it a little bit. So it's not as much of a transfer as it is on smooth cardstock, but it does still transfer. So I just want to show you. We didn't do it on that one. We did it on this one. Okay, so smooth to smooth, complete transfer. Can you guys see the difference? How much glitter transferred, right? Smooth to smooth, complete transfer. All that glitter came over. Smooth to porous, you still have a transfer. It's just not as much. So you still have some of that glitter come over, but because this is porous, it's not as much. You see that? Foil likes smoothness. So it still works. It just prefers to be on smoother cardstock. So you still have this on here. You can reuse this. It's still going to transfer over until this is completely smooth. You see there's still some foil on here. That glitter is still on here, but it prefers smoothness. You can also transfer this with tape. You can transfer it with double-sided glue, but it prefers a smoother surface, all right? So I want to die cut these real quick. I just did one. This is like an 80-pound cardstock shim. And you can keep reusing this until it's completely gone like it was on the other ones. Let me grab those. Until it's completely gone like here. See how on the edges, that's all that's left? So once it's on smooth paper, you know what the best paper to try is? Like pearlescent cardstock or other foil cardstock. It really likes to stick to that. Let's see if we can die cut some of these and see what they look like. But that's why trying it on Polyglaze is really, really fun to die cut. So like, let me die cut these and I'll show you what other ideas I have. Especially word sentiments. Ooh, are those too close to die cut? Let me see here. You guys always want to foil and die cut, and word sentiments are one I always get asked about. And I say foil first, die cut second. And this is why what ends up happening is if you try to die cut it and then foil it, what happens is the foil can't get into the grooves and the lines of your die cutting. So foil first and then die cut. And I'm going to show you that. Look how pretty that is. Okay, so for example, I couldn't wait to do those leaves with that hammered gold. For example, we talked about the white polyglaze. Yesterday we showed the word grateful. And even though Gina K has the polyglaze in the word grateful, okay, she has this. What if there was a die that you had or a company die that you had that there wasn't a polyglaze. Okay, say there wasn't something like this that you had, right? Maybe you only had the die. Okay, one of the things that you can do is you can cut it out of either black toner or out of her white polyglaze. Okay, and you can do this with a word, you can do it with a shape, a snowflake or something, right? And if you foil it first, you're going to have a better chance of it coming out looking nice. Foil it first and then die cut it, because here's what ends up happening. If you die cut this first, you're going to have all these cracks and crevices that your foil can't get into. I want to grab a snowflake first and show you what I mean, because the snowflake is going to look really pretty with that overlay. Hold on. Of course, now I can't find any of my Christmas stuff. Figures. I got beach, I got birthdays. Where's all my Christmas stuff? I know I have those Snowflake Trio dies. Somewhere. Well, we'll do these. Gina K's website, Stamp Wars 15 until tomorrow. Okay. These are not the snowflakes I wanted, but we'll use these. Now, of course, I can't open the back. Okay. I have my X on one side. Okay, they're going to fit in there. So this is not the side I can cut on. This is the side with the little bit of sheen. I'm going to cut a couple of these out. Now, you can foil or cut. I always recommend foil first, then cut. So we're going to take a little piece of the overlay. The other thing you can do is you can tell there's a little bit of static to it. The way that it wraps is the way that it comes off the roll. That's the other thing I should have did too. So foil first, die cut second. Yeah, I can tell by the way that that's wrapping that is the top. It's really hard to tell from looking at it which is the top and which is the bottom. All right, so I'm going to roll that through. But you'll see this will completely transfer. Polyglaze will stick to any foil. This is also a great tip if you have any leftover hot foiling, if you are somebody who does hot foiling. Okay, same thing if you want to, again, do any kind of sentiments. And you have these leftover small pieces of foil. Always do the foiling first and then do the die cutting. And I'm going to show you the difference here. I'm going to cut two pieces of the and a lot of you guys who have been subscribed to my channel for a long time have seen me do this. I'm going to die cut one piece and then foil it. The other piece, I'm going to foil it first. Okay. Foil first and then die cut is what I always say. Remember to cut off that extra toner before you foil it. So I'm going to foil it. And this one, I'm going to die cut. And this is what you should not do. You should always foil first and then die cut. Those foils are at scrapbook.com. Okay, so here is the overlay. Here's the overlay on Gina K white Polyglaze. Look at how clean that's going to pull off. So you can make any color foil you want. You can put foil on here first and then put the overlay on it and make it shiny and glossy. But now imagine if I had the proper snowflakes on here. Now I can foil this any color I want to. But the foil is not going to get into all those nooks and crannies. Watch. I'm going to take this piece of foil and I'm going to run it through. My carrier sheet though. Versus foiling it first and then running it through. Watch. And that's because it's already been cut. It's already been pushed through. Where to put my die? So foil first, cut second. Believe me, it's just going to make your life a lot easier. Because once it's cut and you try to foil it and push the foil through, it's a lot harder. But if you've already foiled it and then you cut it, it makes it a lot easier. Okay, so now and this still has the overlay over it. We have to pull off of it too. Never mind my cutting skills. We are not judging my cutting skills today. We are judging the foiling. Okay, so this still has the overlay on it. But which is going to peel off right now. Let me show you what the difference is. So here, if my camera will focus, and it's mostly going to be on the edges. If I can get the light. Let me pull my light in here for you guys. Scrapbook.com is where I said for you guys to go get them. I put the links. Scrapbook.com had a 10% off coupon. I put the links for you guys. Helen, give me a second. All right, so foil first, cut second. Actually, this one came out pretty good. I'm going to try to find the difference here. So basically what happens is when you foil first and then cut, the die is pushing into the foil and cutting. So you have less of a chance of it messing up your foil. When you cut first and then foil, your I totally just did that backwards and it messed it up actually. Maybe I was wrong all these years. This actually didn't do that the right way. That came out better. This messed it up. Okay, Nancy was wrong this time. This actually messed it up. Okay, maybe I was wrong all these years. This actually pulled the foil off of there this time. Usually you foil first and then cut. And this time it didn't work. I don't know what to say. I proved myself wrong. It's the first time for everything, I guess. I usually say, you guys, foil first and then cut because it makes it better. And in this case, it didn't work. I don't know. Making a fool of myself on live TV. Okay, let's try cutting the snowflakes out. Maybe they'll work out better. Here's the overlay, which we already pulled off. And we're going to cut these snowflakes out. This is for Gina K. And then these are the foils that are at Scrapbook. Yes, I will show it to you on dark cardstock. Hold on. Okay, now that's how it's supposed to work for you guys. See, it worked that time. Isn't that pretty? And that is the idea of these overlays, is really to use it on a shiny, smooth surface. It's not going to work as well on a porous surface. I'm not sure what time. So it's designed to be used with Gina's other products. Okay, let me grab a dark product. So I'm going to say, if you're going to use it with a dark product, you want to use it with glossy paper, like the toner card fronts. Dark, okay. But let me see here. Hold on, let me get some of these things out of the way. I have way too many things here. 1 second, you guys. And you guys know you can ink over your Polyglaze, right? Yes, so as long as your Polyglaze does not have the overlay on it, you can ink over it, okay? So, for example, these leaves here, it can't have the overlay on it because the overlay is, it's basically foil over it, so you can't put anything else over top of it. But, okay, so we did these snowflakes. Let me move these things out of the way here. Now these other ones have the overlay on them, so we can't put any ink over these because these have the overlay on them. But these don't have, let me turn this off and move it out of the way. Okay, these don't have the overlay on them. These are just regular, the hammered foil. This is just the hammered foil. So Let me just grab some ink. This is sweet mango. Excuse me, a tickle in my throat. As long as it doesn't have the overlay on it, the overlay is going to resist the ink, so you won't be able to do that. But the regular hammered gold foil is going to resist the ink, but the regular printed cardstock is going to absorb the ink. So you can ink that. And same thing with I put the links for scrapbook.com right here. Okay, so here is Gina K's Blue Sky. Now, these are the snowflakes. This one is called Blanket Snow and Winter Snow. This is Blanket Snow. I use the silver hammered foil on these. I did not use the overlay foil on these, just the hammered, silver hammered. And you can see I can just ink over these. Again, without the overlay. The overlay is not going to want to stick on these. It will stick, but it's just not going to be as shiny or glossy because this is a porous paper. So it's not going to want to stick to this as nicely as it will a glossy paper. It likes glossy paper better. So now what I can do is I have my overlay snowflakes, which I did white polyglaze overlay. So they're really super shiny. And then I have my silver hammered polyglaze and grateful. It's really easy to do. So if you're going to do the overlay on anything, your best bet is to do it on really shiny cardstock to make it stick. Like foil cardstock or any kind of like super shiny cardstock. The link is not opening the scrapbook. Hold on. I linked it yesterday in yesterday's video. Hold on a second. Okay, well, that one works. Hold on. There's one, and let me get you guys the other one. And let me get you guys this one. And then I'll have to get you guys the one for the overlay. It also is, basically the overlay is hot foil. So if you have hot foil machine like the Glimmer machine, it will work. Okay, so you guys want to see it on dark cardstock. Okay, let me see what I have for dark cardstock that would work for you. Let me find a really pretty dark cardstock. I know that was something that might work for you guys. Okay, how many of you guys have some of the luxury card stocks or I'm trying to think who else sells them. They're luxury card stocks. They're sold in 5-packs. They're also called Harmony card stocks. Spellbinder sells them. There's quite a few companies. Sizzix sells them, but you get like 5-packs of different colors. There's reds, there's golds, there's teal, there's white. Okay, so you get like glitter, you get matte, you get brushed, you get mirror, you get pearl, right? So there's all these different companies that have them. So they come with all these different ones, right? A lot of companies have them. Here is a piece of that. That one's Spellbinder's teal, but that's the aqua one. So there's many different companies that have them. You can find them, but I think they all come from like the same mothership. So that is one. They should all work for you. They hot foil beautifully. They die cut beautifully. But I believe you're going to have really good luck with these. Yeah, this is probably sold out everywhere then. This is pretty much everywhere. Scrapbook.com has it. Spellbinders has it. Everybody has this. Who else has it? Marco's Paper has it. It's sold in like five different weights of this is pretty heavy cardstock. I forget what the weight of it is. I'll have to look it up for you. It's like different brands, 85 to 100 weight. But this is it's kind of pearlescent shiny, but this is really gonna stick to this. I mean, you can hear how it's luxury cardstock. I'll get you guys the links for it. But I love it from Spellbinders. I have it in gold, rose gold, white, black, red, so many different colors. Because I love it because you get like 5 of every different one. You get it in glitter, you get it in matte, you get it in foil, you get it in Oh my God, help me out, you guys. But it's called luxury cardstock, and I use it for die cutting. I use it for card bases. Um, yeah, it's called luxury cardstock by Spellbinders. But it works so well with everything, with die cutting, with hot foiling. It works really good with embossing folders. But there's a lot of companies that have it. Sizzix has it. I don't know what Sizzix calls it. Sizzix sells it in like a big 50 pack. They have like an opal pack. I'm going to see how it sticks to this. This is going to be really pretty. I'll put my Spellbinders link on there for you too, so you can look for it there. I hope I stuck that on the right way. But if you want to learn more about foiling in general, join our Facebook group, the Foiling Snobs Club. I have a toner foiling playlist if you want to learn more about foiling with the Mink machine or the Gina K Fuse machine. If you want to learn more about hot foiling, which is the glimmer machine or the foil press machine, I have a hot foiling playlist. There are 2 different types of foiling. I can help you with any of those. I will be signing up more foiling classes here coming up shortly. So you can do virtual Zoom foiling classes with me, just to help you guys get back into it. I know it's kind of short notice because, you know, Christmas is just around the corner. That foil that's sticking to the card. This is hot foil. Yes, this is an overlay foil, which is hot foil. Thanks, Karen. Okay, are we ready to see? Oh, I already can tell. Look, it's already sticking. I knew it was going to stick to this. Look at how perfect that is. Look at that. I knew it was going to stick to this because that's what hot foil does. And you can do this, you guys, with any of your hot foils, by the way. Any of your hot foils. You can literally do this with any of your hot foils and make cardstock with any of your hot foils. You can make foil cardstock with any of your hot foils. Yes. So this just happens to be a clear hot foil, but you can do this with any of your hot foils. You can make foil card out of any of your hot foils. It doesn't have to be clear, but clear hot foils they call overlays. So Gina K has one, Pink and Maine has one, but just remember it will stick to anything. Isn't that pretty? And now I can die cut this. I can use it in the background. I can die cut it. I can do anything with it. All right, guys. So I just wanted to give you guys some insight as to what an overlay foil is versus what a toner foil is. These are available at scrapbook.com. They will be back in stock at ThermoWeb and Gina K. I don't know when, but they are over, sorry, not these, the hammered foils. They are over at, where did I put my other one? I lost it. This one. These are over at scrapbook.com. I think the code SPOOKY is still in stock for 10% off. But if you want to shop anything else that we showed yesterday on Stamp Wars, Gina K has given a generous coupon of 15% off. So there are other Polyglaze and other foils and other fuse machines that you can get with the code Stamp Wars 15. The toner sheets, lots of wonderful things. Thank you, Gina K. The Grateful Dies, the Grateful Polyglaze, lots of wonderful things. 15% off is a very generous discount. And I do believe tomorrow is the last day. Stamp Wars 15. Please remember to click yes to cookies and use my links so that you guys can take advantage of that discount. And again, if you want to learn more about foiling, follow me. Check out the toner playlist for Fuse or Mink Machine. Make sure you go follow Sammy and Tracy as well. So much fun. We learned so much about Sammy. You guys better already know a lot about Tracy. I mean, she is my partner in crime in all this. I will go link the luxury cardstock. Gina K has awesome cardstock as well. She has more cardstock coming out. But her cardstock is a porous cardstock. It's not this smooth cardstock. That cardstock you're going to find at Spellbinders. And the stamp set that we used was Sensational Sunflowers. Okay, guys, thanks for following along. Don't forget to go watch the follow-up video that I posted for your chance to win everything that we used during Stamp Wars. Bye, guys. It's not a new set, Karen. It's actually an older set. But you can use the 15% off on everything except clearance and gift cards. Laura, I fixed that.